Carton was a man of immense wealth, surrounded by a life of luxury and influence. Yet, behind the golden walls and extravagant parties, something was missing. The glimmer of gold and the glamour of jewels couldn't hide the shadow of a deep desire that consumed him. He found himself surrounded by smiles that sparkled more with the reflection of his riches than with genuine affection. It was as if money was the only link between him and those around him, turning his relationships into mere transactions of interest. Feeling the weight of superficiality in every handshake and every calculating glance, Carton decided it was time for a change. He was tired of being seen as just a walking bank account. He wanted to discover if there was someone who loved him not for what he had, but for who he was. So he made a drastic and courageous decision. He would leave his life of wealth and prestige behind. With a heart full of hope and a bold spirit, he prepared for a radical transformation. Carton abandoned luxury and ostentation and moved to a small, quiet town, far from the spotlight and crowds. There, instead of being the mogul everyone knew, he disguised himself as a humble bakery clerk. Yes, a bakery. The symbolism couldn't have been more perfect. A place of warmth, simplicity, and fresh bread, where he could hide in plain sight. He yearned with all his might to find someone who saw beyond the facade and recognized the true man behind the role of clerk. And thus began his journey. Carton traded his expensive suits for a baker's uniform and his luxury cars for a modest bicycle. Each day, as he mixed dough and served customers, he eagerly anticipated that magical moment. The instant when he would find someone who loved him for his essence and not his portfolio. This was his dream, his quest, and he was determined to find it, no matter how challenging the journey might be. In the bakery, amidst the aroma of bread and the warmth of the oven, Carton waited. Fate was about to reveal if his courage and sacrifice would be worth it. He was ready to face simplicity and discover if true love could indeed be found away from the shine and showiness. And this is how Carton's story begins, with a burning desire to find something that no amount of money could buy. A true and pure love. Carton did what few would have the courage to do. He left his life of glamour and prestige to start over. He left behind not only the glamorous parties and excessive luxuries, but also an identity that had become a burden to him. He threw himself into a new life, trading the extravagances of his mansion for a small, quiet town where no one knew him, and where anonymity offered a fresh start. Upon arriving in the town, the first thing Carton did was to establish himself in a simple bakery, a place that, in reality, was his own. But for the magic to happen, he needed to do more than just change his address. With silent determination, he decided to present himself as a humble bakery clerk. It was a monumental step. Not just a change of scenery but a complete transformation of identity. He was ready to blend in with the locals and live a life of simplicity, free from the trappings of the luxury that had always surrounded him. The bakery, which was now becoming his new home, was a place of warmth and simplicity, a true metaphor for what he was seeking. The daily routine was marked by the aroma of fresh bread, the softness of flour, and the steady rhythm of work. Carton threw himself into this new life, discovering joy in simple tasks and pleasure in genuine interactions. Instead of being served, he served. Instead of being surrounded by wealth, he found himself immersed in a life of hard work and direct contact with the town's residents. Each sunrise at the small bakery was a new opportunity for Carton to experience life in a way he had never known. He learned people's names, listened to their stories, and shared sincere smiles. The simplicity of life in the bakery was a refreshing relief for the man who had only known the splendor of money. In every loaf of bread he prepared and every conversation he had, Carton reconnected with a part of himself that had been overshadowed by the opulence of his former life. His transformation was not just physical but deeply emotional and spiritual. Carton was rediscovering himself, away from the spotlight and superficiality. He had traded the sparkle of jewels for the brightness of true simplicity, and material wealth for the richness of authentic experiences. The bakery was not just a new workplace, but a symbol of his new beginning and the new life he was building to find what had, until then, seemed unattainable: true love. In that little haven of flour and sugar, where the aroma of fresh bread mingled with the warmth of the oven, Carton began to immerse himself in the life of the town and slowly discovered the beauty of simplicity around him. Amidst sincere smiles and daily exchanges of stories, he started to get to know the local inhabitants better. It was a new and fresh world for him, where life's complexities were replaced by the authenticity of human interactions. Among the various people who frequented the bakery, there was a young woman who stood out for her serene presence and the genuine way she treated others. Her name was Clara. As Carton observed her routine, something about Clara caught his attention in an indescribable way. She epitomized simplicity, but not in an ordinary way. Her modest life was a canvas painted with rare and vibrant kindness. Clara was one of those people who, without needing the spotlight or applause, dedicated her life to helping others and caring for her family. She was like a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day, a presence that illuminated the bakery with her genuine kindness. Always with a welcoming smile and a kind word, Clara demonstrated a quiet strength and tireless dedication. She was the kind of person who did good without expecting anything in return, and this deeply enchanted Carton. Watching Clara, Carton saw in her the purity of heart he had long sought. The way she committed to her daily tasks, the care she gave to those around her, and the way she found joy in the small things revealed an unpretentious and profoundly honest spirit. Clara had no pretensions, sought no recognition. Her heart was a place of generosity and true love. Each interaction with Clara was a glimpse into a world Carton had idealized. A world where a person's value wasn't measured by wealth but by the depth of their character and the sincerity of their actions. For Carton, Clara was more than just a simple town girl. She was the embodiment of what he had been searching for on his journey. In her presence, he felt a reflection of the purity and kindness he always wished to find. The encounter with Clara, with her simplicity and kindness, brought Carton a new perspective on life and love. He began to see that true treasure was not in possessions but in the richness of a pure heart and the beauty of selfless actions. And so, while the bakery continued to be the backdrop of his transformation, Clara became the central piece of a new hope blossoming in his heart. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the connection between Carton and Clara blossomed in a truly special way. What began as casual interactions in the bakery transformed into a genuine and deep friendship. Over time, Carton began to cherish every moment spent with Clara, and his admiration for her grew each day. Clara was a young woman of firm principles and an open heart. To her, Carton was simply a kind co-worker, an unpretentious view reflecting her sincere nature. She treated him with genuine respect, without any curiosity about his true identity or interests. Clara saw Carton for who he truly was, not for the status he might hold. Her way of living was a living example of integrity and care, and this deeply charmed Carton. For Carton, Clara became more than just a friend. She was an anchor of authenticity in a sea of superficiality. The way Clara dedicated herself to others, with a purity of heart that transcended material concerns, was a constant lesson for Carton. He began to appreciate the simple things in life with a new perspective. The beauty of a sincere smile, the comfort of an honest conversation, and the priceless value of selfless gestures. As they shared laughs and stories in the bakery, Carton discovered a new way of living. Each moment with Clara was a lesson on the true value of simplicity and kindness. He often found himself reflecting on how his life before Clara had been filled with distractions and superficialities, in contrast to the authenticity he now experienced. Carton not only found in Clara someone who loved him for who he was, but also someone who helped him rediscover the essence of simple things. Their friendship became a safe space where he could be true, free from the constraints of external expectations. Clara, with her constant presence and genuine spirit, was a light illuminating the true wealth that had always been around him. After months of living and discovering, Carton felt it was time to reveal his true identity to Clara. On a quiet afternoon, with the sun setting and the bakery beginning to empty, Carton gathered his courage and prepared for the moment he knew was crucial. He had found in Clara something that transcended his expectations, and now he needed to tell her who he really was. With a heavy heart and sincerity written on his face, Carton began to speak. He shared with Clara the truth about his life, that he was, in fact, a man of great wealth and influence, and that his decision to pose as a simple bakery clerk was driven by his quest for something genuine and true. The revelation was laden with vulnerability, and Carton anxiously awaited Clara's reaction. Clara, upon hearing Carton's story, was visibly surprised. Her eyes sparkled with a mix of shock and curiosity. But contrary to Carton's fears, Clara didn't react with indignation or disillusionment. Instead, her response was marked by profound understanding and touching sincerity. She looked at Carton with a gentle smile and said that, despite the revelation, her affection for him had never been influenced by his wealth. What truly captivated her was the person he had shown himself to be. The dedication, kindness, and authenticity that had revealed themselves over time. Clara expressed that the true value of someone lies not in material possessions but in the essence that is revealed through actions and heart. Relieved and emotional, Carton realized that his quest for true love had not been in vain. He had found in Clara what he had sought by giving up his fortune, a genuine love based not on wealth or status, but on the true essence of who we are. Clara, with her kindness and sincerity, proved to be the reflection of the purity Carton had been searching for. The true love Carton had so fervently desired was before him all along, not in appearances or material goods, but in the form of Clara. She had accepted and loved his essence, and this acceptance not only validated his decision to become a simple man but also brought new meaning to his life. Carton understood that true love sees beyond surfaces and embraces the heart of someone, undistracted by external appearances. And so, with the truth revealed and true love confirmed, Carton and Clara's story became a testament that authenticity and true affection are the greatest treasures one can find. Carton's journey, which began with a radical change and an act of humility, culminated in the discovery of the genuine and lasting love he had always sought.